So that's just been a window clean and fuel.
Yeah, nice and simple. With the 14 Porsche coming in now with Yanni behind the wheel. His last time round he did a 3:26, and we've got the leader coming in as well, Wirtz. So Yanni's lap times are up there with the best of the others now. Maybe the car's coming back to them.
Yeah, getting a little bit cooler maybe and things like that. But be interesting to see. But nice to see that pit lane camera in the pit box of the Toyota. Where with the number 14 Porsche. I'd like to see the number 7 Toyota if we could, to see whether I think Wirtz is getting out. We'd just like kind of confirmation of that, really. Number 14 Porsche out and away. Toyota are right at the entry to the pit lane, so that camera won't pick them up where they're at.
Snack time in the Aston pit.
Where's the 7 car? The 7 car, he's already out. Wirtz is the car. I was thinking the car have changed because the 7 car wasn't in that box when he arrived. And he's just looking at the computer screen. He's on an outlap already, so...
Cameraman must have missed him altogether, but yes, he's been in and out. Wirtz did stay in the car, so it was just precaution that Sarthe was ready, just in case. Wirtz obviously was happy enough to stay in, do another stint on the tyre, and he will do one more, and then get out the car and give Sarthe. So Sarthe's got whatever, a 40-50 minute wait now until he gets in the car.
That must be quite... I don't know. How much do you sleep? My question I was going to say there is, that must be quite frustrating because you gear yourself up because you haven't just stepped into your overalls and your crash helmet. That's taken 20 minutes, half an hour to get yourself psyched back up. And then you've now got another 45-minute wait. That's valuable hour and 15 minutes of sleeping, or do you not bother sleeping?
Time. Everyone's different, you know. I do. If I can, I will. And I think most of these guys do as well. Just a quick, 30 minutes, hour, whatever, in a nice relaxed position. It all depends on what you're planning on doing with all the drivers and whether you're planning on, sending them off for 3 hours each. So you've got 6 hours that you could get some rest, and at that point you probably do sleep. But at least kind of 1 hour before you're due to get back in the car, you want to be back in your race suit, near the pits, ready to go just in case. Because you never know what's going to happen with a driver, whether all of a sudden he might, not feel well or be extra tired or whatever, and you've got to be there to step in. Because there's nothing worse than the car being in the pits, the driver getting out, and then the next driver's not there. Because I've been in that position, and it's really not very funny.
No, but it's not funny. Okay, the battle that we were concentrating on and we're quite desperate to see again is the Pro GT category. It is Senna who still leads from Milano, 0.848.
Yeah, those two just going round together.
Yeah, the Ferrari of Villander is starting to drop down. It's 6 seconds, just over 6 seconds behind.
Well, remember, Villander was the first into the pits.
So 3 or 4 laps, all the tyres.
Not that should really make that much of a difference, because as we've talked about, they're looking to do triple stint on these tyres anyway, so unless Villander's on the line... No, he just got in the car, so yeah, it's a little bit odd that he's dropped down.
Looks a little bit...
Looking at the...
Big detail. Yeah.
The Audi pit box, that's the engineer from car number 2.
It looks quite an in-depth conversation. If she was about to press the button and talk to the driver, it would be nice to hear what that's going to say.
Here we go. So yeah, I think his engineer was just asking him how the car is, and maybe a bit worried about those vibrations that were happening to Marcel earlier on. He's just saying that he needs to try and stay off the curbs, try and be a bit more gentle with the car. Doesn't look like staying off them that much to me, but maybe some of the rougher curbs. Those ones are pretty flat down there, so I think they're okay to take. It's the ones here at the Ford chicane
coming
now.
towards us, yeah, they're really bad. Wow. The gap between Senna and Milner is over a second. Only just, but it's over a second. It's kind of like, it's like a lifetime in that battle they've had for the last 45, 50 minutes. It's 1.094. So number 8 Toyota going through there. These boys are in the final sector, so we might get a look at them shortly.
Yeah, there's Bruno in front of us.
Yeah.
So yeah, they've got a little bit of traffic now.
Here's the Ferrari with the green luminous strip up the side, so he is dropping.
Yeah. That's what we're seeing now. We're seeing the battle, the first place battle. There's Bruno in the 97 Aston, and you'll see 2 cars behind is a Corvette with a P2 car in between them. Some traffic coming up, so Bruno's got to try and get through there cleanly and not get swamped by them, and therefore let the Corvette catch him up. As I was saying before, it's sometimes difficult because you've got cars in the middle of their own battle and they're not keen on letting you by. And these 2 slower cars, obviously he's catching them, and he won't be over keen to let him by. Plus you've got the added problem of it being dark, and you don't necessarily know what's coming from behind. You might see the blue flag, which is what you can see flashing from that onboard there. But you don't know whether it's for the P1 car coming or whether it's for the GT cars coming. So it's a difficult situation. Is this Patrick Dempsey getting ready to get back in his car? So Pat Long will get out. They are down 1, 2. So 4th place at the moment. Sorry, no, 6th place at the moment in GT ARM. So they'll probably drop down. You got the Tracy Crone out in the Ferrari just behind them. So there's a good battle in GT ARM as well. Lots of cars still in it. In fact, it's the biggest field, it seems.
And Sebastian Buemi has replaced Lapierre in the number 8 Toyota.
So we've got a total of 11 cars out of the race now. In fact, the latest, well, one I've just noticed was a very strong car, was the Olivier Pla P2 Morgan 26 car. I'm not sure what's happened to them. But they would have been one of the favourites for the race win. So still on board with a 51 Ferrari of Vilander. Kind of lost touch a bit now with the 2 guys ahead of him, Milner and Senna.
Still got that big downshift, and
so 7 seconds down on Senna now. Still not that much, but the Aston just in front of us now. So there's been a report of a car, obviously, that's travelling slow, and she's just warning just in case.
My word. You say we can't see a slow car coming towards us, but
No, it's
see lots of fast ones.
That's back on the Mulsanne straight.
'77 in. The Dempsey car is in.
So Pat Long's coming in, and Dempsey's going to get in the car now.
The Chevy's back up now. He's just been helped slightly, I think, in that gaggle of traffic there coming through the final chicane. He's right back up with him. Less than 0.4 of a second now, starting that lap. I haven't got any notifications of the slow car, so hopefully there isn't a slow car.
It's interesting. Again, this team chooses to use a driver helper rather than the driver getting out, helping the new driver getting in. Personally, I prefer it that way because it's, you know, if you're tired and you're getting out after a 3-hour stint or a 3.5 hours.
That's what you really want to be doing, making sure you've belted someone in properly.
Exactly. So get ready to fire the car up. The wheel's just getting changed now. As soon as it drops, fire it and let's go. Good getaway, no wheel spins that time, so all good.
Still think that was a harsh penalty. But they're the rules. I'm keeping an eye, because we're not getting the picture. I'm just keeping an eye on the Pro GT battle to make sure that they don't change positions. I'm not sure if that switches mid-lap or at the end of the lap, so I'm just keeping an eye on that, because it was close.
It seems to be, in fact, I remember this from my time in P1, that it's not so much you lose speed during the night, it's the slower cars, the AM drivers, who lose the speed. And you're coming with real bright lights behind them, and they don't know, they're a bit dazzled, and they hold you up more than they would normally do in the daytime.
Yes.
So that's why the times are varying so much, and why Wirtz was complaining about traffic. Because it's not like they've stuck an extra 20 cars on the road now. It's just the fact that the slower cars are more of a handful to get by. So when you do get a clear lap, they're back down to proper quick lap times, but it's harder to get that clear lap.
It looks like Lotter has just suffered exactly what you're saying there.
Yeah,
He's just
3:36.
3:36, which against what he's been running around at 3:27, 3:28, is not what he was needing. Right, look at these guys here. Look at them. A 37.8 for Senna, a 38.1 for Milner, a 90.2 and a 90.4, respectively, for those guys. And it gives us a total at the moment of 0.900 with the final sector. So they're heading towards us in a few seconds or so. Just some slow-mos there, them going over. That's the final chicane, wasn't it?
Yeah, just showing how each car takes in the bumps.
Toyota does seem to...
it does ride the bumps very nicely.
It seems to be able to kiss the bumps a bit more as well. Oh, the 91 car's out. It's back out of the box. Ah, it's a replay. But that seems to be coming out, sorry. But, it seems to be being pushed outwards, not inwards.
The 91 car is currently in the box with Bergmeister behind the wheel.
Not good, not good. Okay, now that seems to have been a bit of a bigger gap. Our Pro GT car's just gone through and seemed to be a bit of a gap. And this is our 51 Ferrari in the pits. But yeah, look, Milner dropped he's basically dropped 2 seconds in the last sector. Some traffic, I suspect, in
the scheduled stop for Vilander. I think he was the first of the 3 front runners to pit.
Measuring the brake discs, see what the wear is.
The pads, yeah, pads and disc. I mean, it's quite likely that at some stage in the night they're going to have to change. They're going to have to wheel the car back into the pits and change brakes on the car, because it's quite likely the brakes aren't going to go the full distance in the race.
Aston Martin team, I think they're probably going to be in about 3 or 4 laps. They'll need waking up, because I think the Ferrari stopped 3 or 4 laps before them, didn't they? And these two, Senna and Milner, they came in on the same lap this time. I think when they went out, they haven't been any more than about 3 seconds apart, though. Well, that is not correct, because Milner did drop out the back, remember, slightly early on in that fight, but only by about 4 seconds. But that's all that's been between them since they came out of the pits.
Yeah, so I think they've got another couple of laps before they pit.
Yeah.
So on board with the leader now, Wirtz in the Toyota, number 7 car. Last time around, 320 car. Someone going quick. So it's either...
Team radio, car 7. Has that answered your question?
That has answered my question, yeah.
You were right, though. He was going quickly.
So let's see where he's getting the blue flag, or the blue light. So let's see how kind he's feeling, and whether he's going to... Well, sooner or later, he does have to let him by. As simple as that, the rules state. So unless he pulls away... Obviously now he's got a bit of a gap, so he's not just going to stop and let him go by. So the Toyota needs to close up on him. What's their lap times respective? So that's Yanni in the car. He's doing 328s, as is Wirtz. So again, another tricky one. He's not really any slower. And if he can just use a bit of traffic and get a gap, then he won't need to let him by.
It's interesting, the engineer saying there that they spoke to race control. You just think they'd just wander down to the Audi pit and say, sorry, not the Audi pit, the Porsche pit, and say, come on, let him past.
Nah, it doesn't really work like that.
They get race control involved.
Yeah, they need the third party to come and take control, and yeah. But he's too far away now. He's too far away in the lead to have to pull over. So as long as he keeps a bit of a distance like that, then there's nothing they can do. And then he's not doing any harm there either. I think they're lapping very similarly. Let's see when traffic, if they clear the traffic and get a relatively clear lap, it could be that Wirtz is slightly quicker. On that last lap, Wirtz lost a second to Yanni. So that's just passing one of the Corvettes anyway. It's probably Garcia, isn't it? No, it's not. It must be Milner. Yeah. So there's the Aston just in front. So it's just passing the GT Pro Aston of Senna, leading the class.
That's given the Porsche a little bit of breathing space to argue against the potential blue flags. In a small way, though, now that there's this small gap, isn't the Toyota maybe in a slightly better place, because they're getting out of the way for the Porsche, and he's now not having to clear the traffic. He's not the first on the scene as such.
Maybe makes him more aware, but to be honest with you, all the GT drivers see are massive bright lights behind them.
Big white lights.
So I don't think there's that much of a benefit. Yeah, I mean, there's obvious situation where they could think, well, this could potentially be the leader coming through, and therefore there might be a second or third place coming behind as well. But nah, I don't think it's not a case of him clearing the traffic.
Okay, in the pits is Sebastian Buemi and Alex.
Alex a little bit nervous of putting his car down the inside. You saw Toyota, what was it, 3 years ago with, or 2 years ago with Anthony Davidson.
Yes.
Having a big shunt at that very place. So being a little bit cautious, doesn't need to take massive risks because he's got a good lead over Lotterer at the moment. Number 8 going back in the pits of Buemi. He's just spent all that time catching up, and now they've got to go back in the pits again.
Alex Brundle is the leader in the P2 category in the pits. And that car of the Rebellion of Frost dropping down positions, actually Brundle ahead of it now. So P2 car ahead of a P1 car.
Yep, so we've got the 73 Garcia car from 5th place, just had a pit stop.
The Senna Milner battle for the Pro category is now 1.7. That's that traffic because they had the Porsche and the Toyota going around them. Sebastian Buemi staying in the car. Mechanic telling the cameraman he doesn't want it. This car's coming back out already, I think, so I'm not really sure. Hang on. Okay, I'm not really sure why they pushed him back into the box for that one, but just trying to see if there's any news. Nope, no news on there yet.
So Alex confirming to the team that no big issues, a little bit of vibration here and there. Again, potentially just tyre pickup, rubber pickup on the tyres. He feels happy enough with the car and carrying on.
I'm going to say the gap he has is virtually the same after that stint as what it was when he went in. Car 27 reported to the stewards for speeding in the pit lane. So car 27, which is our Russian friends in the Mika Salo car. Not sure who's driving car 27 at the moment.
Mika Salo.
Oh dear.
Not had a good day yet today. Actually, we're into tomorrow now, aren't we? But he had an off in the warm-up before the race, and now he's got caught for speeding, so expect a stop and go penalty with a few extra seconds added for that one. So it was a third place, 46. So well, it's dropping down the order a little bit now. So it's one of the P2 cars that was in contention for victory.
Have I missed someone? Yeah, Milner's been in the pits and he's on an outlap. I was thinking, hang about, that's a minute gap. So we're waiting for the Senna car now into the pits.
So the last of the 3 front runners to pit. Exactly, that's what happened last time. Remember, the other 2 were already on track, and Senna came out in front of them and had to warm his tyres up. So, yeah, that's how it plays out.
I don't know why. Whenever there's a pits to car radio, I insist on looking at the screen even though I can't see anything. You don't see any, you just hear it. And that's obviously where I missed the 74 car coming in. But scenery's nice. So I don't think Senna's going to be far away, is he? Well, they're ready, you know.
Yeah, he's heading in pretty soon. Christian Poulsen's still leading in the Aston and Pro-Am.
What is interesting, this gap is now down to 6 seconds between the Chevy and the Ferrari. See, Villander has, in the pit stop, caught a second or so up, a couple of seconds up. So stretches that.
So I'm thinking that Christian Poulsen's going to be getting out of the car soon.
I thought that was...
I have to be honest, I don't know what the other driver it looks like. He's going David Heinemeier Hansen.
Vibration on the brakes is massive. Can you do something? Here, this is the Senna car in. He's in, he's happy. Drinks bottle in, headlights clean. Fuel. I mean, what can they do? What can they do? What can they do about a vapor apart from replace the discs and pads?
On the brakes, exactly, that's what they can do. They can get the car in. I mean, that's the number 8 car, so it's not the end of the world. Obviously, they don't want that happening to the number 7 car, and it's they've been asking quite a bit to Alex, and a lot of reports going back and forward about that. So they are concerned about it with the number 7 car as well.
Okay, right. We are looking for, and this is the Senna Aston. Now, he's either made a big gap, because there's no headlights behind him. Here they come.
Yeah. So I think he's...
I think he's gained. If that is a yellow, yeah, it is. And he's probably took another second and a half or something there, maybe. Second and a half, we'll see when we start to get some sector times up. Once he's completed the lap as well, 4 minutes time, we'll be able to work out. So 170 laps completed for Toyota number 7. And the car, Audi number 2, 2 minutes 27, 6.92 behind. And then the car number 1 of Tom Christensen is 1 lap down. Car 20 Porsche is 2 laps down. The 14 Porsche, 6 laps down. That was from early on in the race with fuel pressure problems. And then the number 8 Toyota is in 6th. The leading P2 car is lying in 7th place with Alex Brundle at the wheel at the moment. And as we've just been talking, the leader in the GT Pro category is Bruno Senna, the 97 car, but only by about 3 seconds. Well, the last split is 5.1 seconds now. So that's a pretty healthy advantage for what they've had in the last hour and a half, 2 hours. The leader in the AM category for GT is another Aston Martin, the 95 car, and Poulsen is driving that car at the moment.
Setting good times as well. He's doing last time round 4:02, and the next car up, the Ferrari of Basov, 4:09. So he's pulling a big gap actually. And we saw, I think we saw David Heinemeier Hansen, the next Danish driver to be going into that car in the pits with his balaclava on. So I think the next stop, Poulsen will be handing over to him.
Did you say the retirements there? The Audi, so it seems a long time ago when the Audi retired, an hour or so in, hour and a half into the race. Some hospitality in the back of the paddock, the Audi team. Beautiful hospitality units, and to entertain their guests, the number 2 car, Lotterer. Big performance by him earlier on, to be fair. Big performance by all of them, but he was particularly brave. in the early sections of the race. Some big moves taking place there. Okay, the gap between Senna and Milner, 5.5 seconds. So Senna's had a good stop there. And the Aston Martin team getting him changed around quickly, in and out.
This is just showing us that on the last lap, Lotterer took 3 seconds off Wirtz, which is a decent chunk of time, but Wirtz is still a long way ahead.
Yeah, he's got to be taking that kind of time for about the next team radio.
It sounds like Andre's getting a little bit frustrated with the traffic there. Yeah, you know, that's the thing. You're pumped up, you're pushing hard behind the wheel, and if you feel that the drivers are not getting out of your way well enough, and as I was saying before, they are frustrated because the AM drivers are a little bit taxed, let's say. In this dark condition, you've got, you can see the lights of the Audi. See how bright they are, and they're coming in your mirrors. And if you've got a rear camera, it's coming just a white light in your rear camera, and it's difficult getting out of their way. You don't know where they are, and it's frustrating when you're driving the P1 car because you just want them to move out of the way because you're trying to catch up to the lead of the race, and it's frustrating, and therefore sometimes you get a little bit angry, let's say. And so I think that's what Andre was. Maybe we didn't hear that radio transmission because it was a bit X-rated.
Yeah, it was interesting that she came on and said, "Can you repeat?" Oh, it doesn't matter. He didn't pick up on the whole thing as well. So
we're in the Audi pit now. Sorry, in the Audi hospitality, seeing their guests.
Yeah, you can see in the last lap time, just under 1 second slower was Lotterer to Wirtz. That anger in mechanics getting themselves geared up. Got some pit work to do. Great speed down here on the brakes. Right, then, yeah, the cars are named, yes. The cars are named. Now, I did write that down somewhere, of what was which name. Can't remember where it was now, but I've written that down. I'll be able to find it out somewhere for you. Let me see if I've got that written.
So Timo's going to stay in the car. He's going to come and get some fuel and go straight back out. Probably no tyres, just fuel.
Okay, car one is Albert. This is the Audis. Oh my word. Wonder Woman, Superman, dear me. Yeah, the Audis have named car one as Albert, car two as Betty Boost, and car three, that is no longer, is called Steffi, or was called Steffi. So yeah, 3 names of their cars. So we'll see. But these, we talk about these hybrid systems, and we can hear them as they are on the brakes and off, the kind of coasting and then braking. Toyota have KERS, their energy recovery system from braking, which they then use under acceleration. That's what the big noise is, isn't it? That kind of whirring noise when they come down. Toyota have a double curse system, one at the front and one at the rear. So it's new for this season, basically producing the equivalent of 1,000 brake horsepower. Porsche's is fed with an electric motor, retrieving exhaust gases which are blown into the turbo. Car 27, that's the Mikko Salo car again, I think. Car 27. And then Audi they've gone for their 2013 version, the tried and tested one, with a single energy recovery system, using the traditional curves to save weight to compensate for the heavier diesel engine. 3 manufacturers, 3 different types of hybrid systems. So a little bit of useless bit of information. So we'll see. Okay. I'm sure that was the Mikko Salo car. Car 27. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was, yeah. Running late again.
Again. Right, let's go back to this battle. The battle at the front of the pro category. Senna Miller is 5.1 seconds. That's kind of stabilized now at that 5 seconds.
So the 4th place car of Marco Holzer now coming into the pits. Full service.
Oh yeah, driver change, yeah.
Looks like I think that's Richard Leeds getting in.
The bonnets of those cars are obviously relatively strong for that mechanic to kind of stand on and brace himself to clean the window.
That's it. So yeah, Leeds going in, being in. He'll go in now for a triple stint on those tyres.
As you say, when the conditions were slightly tricky and damp, the Porsches were right up there, weren't they? They were right in the fight.
He needs to get ready to get that car started. You can hear the tyres going on it.
Yeah, he's still not quite in, is he?
Come on, hurry up, hurry up. So he's got the start button on his steering wheel, so he doesn't need to reach forward.
Yeah, I didn't know what he was trying to. He did have his hand down by the side. Not sure what he was.
I think he's just tightening up his lap belt.
Yeah.
But a lot of these cars have a system where there's a button on the steering wheel, and you press it while it's in the air, and it doesn't fire. And as soon as the car hits the deck, it fires automatically, and then you're off. Yeah.
Okay. Gently through the Dunlop curves as he makes his way up. Okay, that battle at the front, GT Pro classification, yeah, just over 5 seconds. So that is kind of a bit static and sorted now. Tom Christensen on a outlap. The gap at the front, 2 minutes 25.043, and 0.6 of a second between their laps of Wirtz and Lotterer in Wirtz's favour on the last run. So car 58 comes past us and into the pits. The second car in P2, car 36, Shatin, 2 quicker sector times, sector 1 and sector 2. So it's actually, at the right this moment, there's 3 cars, 3 sector times going blue. That'll be conditions, I believe, is it getting cooler and just helping the cars, the tyres, track getting a bit cooler.
Yeah, and if you can get yourself a clear lap, that's now's the time to be. Well, as I said, it's just going to get quicker and quicker as the race goes on. And if the more cars that go out, the more space there's going to be in the circuit. So it's as simple as that.
Listening to the last communication from Lotterer, he could do with a few more disappearing because he's getting a bit fed up with them all.
Well, there's a lot of work to do for Audi now because they're lapping within a second of each other pretty much every lap, and therefore he's not drawing in this 2 minutes down that he is, so it's tough work for them.
But you've got to be there. I mean, it's a puncture, it's a half spin, a stall,
a touch with another car.
Yeah.
You know,
you've got to keep going at it, because if you can keep it within 2 minutes, we see at pit stops, it's a minute and a half for a full service, and you've got to keep going. And maybe Andre just getting slightly frustrated. The 98 car just coming into the pits. Now that is the Lamy, was that the Lamy car? I've put my paperwork back in a different place now. It is the Lamy car back in the pits. So I think that's done a good stint there. So that car's obviously been fixed and sorted there. Here it is. Hopefully there'll be no smoke this time.
It was in the pits a fair while though, so it's well down the order now.
Yeah, it was 20 odd minutes.
Actually, there is a bit of smoke off the front still, look.
I was hoping that was the spray from the headlight cleaner and the windscreen cleaner, but I think you might be right. Maybe not, I don't know.
Nice to see the 79 WeatherTech Porsche that's with Cooper McNeil at the wheel. Him and Jeroen Bleekemolen are doing the race on their own. The third driver is not able to compete, so they're just circulating themselves, aiming to finish the race, and just the two drivers, which is a big job. It's tough to do that.
Well, two punctures that we've seen so far as well, haven't we, for them? So
exactly, yeah.
As well as the extra pressure on yourselves.
And the car's been
fully rebuilt.
It's been rebuilt because they had a big shunt, and they're carrying extra. So
okay, the door. When they open the door, they have like the damper, and I think that's what they're saying is broken, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's swinging around.
Yeah. I don't think the door is shut and that's secure. It's the little pivot that holds it up when it's open.
Yeah. So it's probably just annoying him, swinging around in front of him.
But when he says we need to take it out, is he going to try and pull it out and throw it into the other side, or is he just going to wait for them to come into the pits?
I think during the pit stop.
Yeah. But it's obviously bizarre, tough question. Yeah, we're looking out at the front of that car with the big headlights. So inside that car's going to be very, very dark. It's obviously tapping and rattling on something for him to notice that it's come away. And you were talking about drivers and the extra capacity in their mind and their brain. This guy's doing 300+ kilometers an hour, and there's something rattling on my door just up here, and he's having a chat about it.
It's annoying.
Yeah.
You know, it's just one other thing you don't need to be thinking about.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a bit of a...
Yeah, I think that was Andre saying, come on, mate, you didn't need to be there. Get out of the way.
A bit of a wobble. Now, there's some Audi people getting ready. Are they going to bring this car in? I'm not sure. He hasn't had the call, has he yet?
Not that we've heard, anyway. Certainly ready for someone, so it's either him or Christensen.
They're outside. Well, Christensen was only in a couple of laps ago, so... So I suspect that it's going to be him. I'm going to be curious to see what they do with the door. Yep, someone down pit road. I think it's him. Big bright lights. Yep, here he comes. Heavy on the brakes.
Which is why they had the conversation then. So he knew they were coming into the pits and to deal with that problem with the car now. So he'll no doubt be staying in, I think. So yeah, definitely staying in, and he just wants that tidied up and taken away, so they'll open the door and hopefully we can have a good view of what they're going to do with it. Well, I think that was it dealt with.
Well, I'm going to say, whatever he did, it was quick. That was quite quick.
No, he's gone back. He's going back.
Some adjustment on the front. And whatever he did second time was quick as well.
So, not too much harm done. Slightly lost a few seconds, no doubt, but I think they've just tuned the car a little bit more. I think we heard earlier on Ben saying that he was suffering with understeer, didn't he? So
yep. This is our lead car driver change, and the lead car verts out. Now Stefan, we know, has been stood there for about 45 minutes, hasn't he?
Well, he was going to go in last time, wasn't he? And first decided, yep, I can do one more stint, and they kept him out there on the same tire. So they will give it a full service now. Some fuel and another set of tyres.
Now, the only issue that they're going to have with that Lotterer car now is you see how that door stays up on the Toyota. I suspect the mechanic's going to have to hold that up now with that damper thing broken. It's not a big issue, but just a little bit more awkward to get in, I suspect. So that'll just be the problem that they have when they come in.
I saw the Toyota mechanic give it a thump from the other side to make sure the door was closed there.
It starts off in electric, silent car initially, and on their way out. So we now have a different driver in the lead car, Stefan Sarrazin. They've all been strong. They have all been strong. Remember, Sarrazin was out in those slightly tricky conditions and putting those brilliant lap times when he was in the car the last time. Keep you up to date with the GT Pro category. That is still at a gap of 5.1 seconds in Senna's favour.
So looking at Neil Yanni, who we were riding on board with.
He's about to change driver, I think, as well. He's going to come in.
He is, and every time I look at his lap times, he seems to be on a good one. So Brundle's just set the fastest lap in his 35 car and P2 lead as well, so lap time is starting to come down. So a 3:38 from Alex Brundle.
Christensen a 3:32. I think there's quite a bit of traffic around, isn't there, at the moment, for these guys. In that section of corners there, the Porsche curve, what is the G-force feeling? Because when you're watching these guys, it just looks like it's on rails.
Yeah, it's a great section. It's one of the best sections on the track. It's one you don't want to get wrong because the wall's not far away, but when the car's hooked up, it feels fantastic through there. So we see the 14 car now into the pits. Neil Yanni coming in. Just completed his triple stint, I think, and Mark Leap will be getting into this car.
where he was stood ready, whether he gets in, as we've seen with a couple of times.
True. Yep. No, he's definitely getting in. See, that's interesting that Neil Yanni, who's a little bit shorter, he's got an insert for the seat, and then Mark Lieb just goes straight in.
Yeah.
He's just happy to sit in the base seat.
It was a bit like Webber when Hartley got out. Hartley took his seat with him, and then when I saw both of them walking around in the paddock earlier on, and I mean, there's nothing to Brenda. I mean, he's tall, but absolutely, there's not a lot to Mark Webber. Maybe a bit more stockier.
Yeah.
But that maybe is the difference of why Hartley needed the seat, or needs a seat, just because he's so thin.
Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, tall drivers obviously need to stay thin because the lighter you are, the faster you are. The weight is a big factor in a race car. So looking at Mark Lieb now. First year in prototypes for him. He's been driving GT Porsches for a long, long time, and he's got the big break now to...
Whatever the mechanic's trying to do, he's not...
Yes, it's not happening very quickly.
No, it wasn't, no.
You see the head support there.
Yeah.
So you've got the extra padding on there. So you actually can't move your head very much from side to side.
I noticed the Toyota has a similar look. We can't remember what the Audi has. The only pictures we really had of the Audi was when they crashed early on, so in the 3 car. It's back out on the road. Let's see what he can do. Okay, the gap in the pro category, Senna to Milner, is down to 4.3. So is that Chevy starting to kind of come back on song and head towards that leading gap? But it's still only 8.3 seconds between the first 3 in that category.
We should definitely keep an eye on that because it has come down slightly.
Yeah, I mean the gaps in the other categories, the AM category, that's a big gap. That's not far off a lap. The same with the P2 category and the P1 category. So right at this moment, the big battle is, as it has been virtually all race, is in the Pro GTE category.
Wherever Alex Brundle is on track right now, the 35 leader in P2, he's found some clear air. He's going to set his his fastest sector in the first sector. And he just had his 1 lap ago, he had his fastest lap outright, so he's on it. You know, he's pushing hard.
He's in the zone, isn't he? Well, he's just gone through the sector 2, 85.3 seconds for sector 2 in that final section. Final section quite a bit longer than the other sections, so. What are the issues that the Porsches had? A team radio, Porsche. Okay, 14 laps per stint, and they're planning 4 stints in the 14 car.
Yeah, big drive.
That is a big drive, isn't it? But what I was going to say just before then is no mistakes recently for any of the Porsches under braking, which you saw there was 2 or 3 of them earlier on in the evening. Whoa, what's going on here? The Ferrari. Ah, right. So the Milner must have made a mistake because he's dropped 5 seconds. And the Ferrari of Villanda right up behind him, flashing the lights. Come on, get out of the way. I'm here again.
Trying to put him off, really. Yeah.
The battle, the Cesena. Bruno won't know what to do with an 8.5 second advantage.
Well, yeah, he's not had one the whole race, so now the battle is between these 2 guys.
Tony's got to make this really work, hasn't he? Because he dropped down the back a little bit. He dropped out of this fight. He's been given a chance. Not what he needed was was a faster car getting in the middle of them, though. It's a Porsche, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is.
Well, they've just gone past.
Yeah, but he's already dropped back a bit again. Philander. I'm not sure that Ferrari's quite got the pace of the Corvette, even though perhaps, yes, Milner might have made a mistake and dropped back, but now he's got his head together again. It looks like he's just eking out the gap again.
0.8 of a second between them. Senna's advantage now 9.7. He's not far off double figures. I don't think the Aston Martin team have had to put double figures up on their pit board yet this race. They're going to get a bit of a shock. We're going to get another number out soon.
Well, Aston Martin are one of the very few teams that don't run a pit board. They don't run any pit board at all. So any information is told to the driver over the radio. They don't hold a pit board out.
Okay, that's interesting. What is the reason for that? Just 'cause it's difficult to see?
They just don't find it necessary. They don't, you know, radios nowadays are pretty reliable. They also know that the driver doesn't really pay that much attention to a pit board.
What are you trying to say?
Well, I don't really look for it, so I'd rather hear over the radio. So gradually, each team is kind of moving away from pit boards. I mean, obviously, in an emergency, when your radio goes down, you have to have one handy, but generally, the radio is quite reliable.
He's good on the brakes, isn't he? He might rev that engine to its capacity. He's good on the brakes.
Yeah, the blue flag, the blue light flashing there. I'm not sure why that's flashing. It shouldn't really be flashing. You saw that was Milner just testing his brakes coming up to Mulsanne corner there. You saw a flash of his brake lights. So he, with a left foot, he'll just tap it, make sure it's hard. Because
I'm going to say, is that to make sure it's hard, like a pad knockoff, or is that to kind of try and put the car behind off slightly?
No, it's to, you know, he ran the curbs on the way out of the last chicane, and when you do that, it quite often will give you pad knockoff. Therefore, you've got to just pump them back up so you've got a nice hard pedal for the next hard braking zone, which was that Mulsanne corner. See, Wielander's all over him now. And flashing. He's really trying to put him off. Trying to force him into a mistake. Bit of a slide there from Milner. Got some good grunt in that Chevy coming out of the corners. He's able just to draw away slightly.
Just a little bit of news coming from the Porsche 14 car whilst we watch this. There's no fans working in the car, so there's no air, no fresh air coming into that cockpit of the 14 car.
That's going to make that quadruple stint of Mark Lieb's
a bit uncomfortable, isn't it? So yeah, I think it's taking all of Tony's talent there to keep up with that Chevy, isn't he? And he's having to do it on the brakes. That's where he really starts to gain it. He's in the braking, massively pushing.
Again, you know, the Ferrari might have a little bit more extra aero, and therefore it might be slightly slower on the straight, but be able to brake later in the corners, and that could be the reason why he's able to close up on the brakes as the way he is. But it is strange that Milner has dropped his pace. I mean, he's still doing 357s. They both are doing 357s, which is a pretty good time. Bruno Senna in front of them has just done a 356 though, and then Richard Leitz behind in the other Porsche, fourth position, has done a 356 as well. So it's these two cars just a second off